Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And we did go on and see indices going in pair back yesterday, S&Ps and Nasdaq. I'm not sure about the Dow futures; they were a bit stronger yesterday, but definitely Nasdaq pulled back to a certain extent. S&Ps. We'll go on and take a look at where things stand right now with a quick overview. Taking a look as far as economic data. Let's get to that. We do get BOE consumer credit at the bottom of the hour, as well as mortgage approvals. And that's going to be it. Earlier, it looks like we had something about French government budget, but that wasn't of any significance. We do have, as we come to the States, we do have export data, which will be import and export data out at 8:30 Eastern, and then Canadian import and export data also out at that same time. And then ISM business conditions, that'll be at 9:40 Eastern, 9:45, as well as factory orders at 10 a.m. Eastern. And take a look where we stand immediately on the indices. You can see the S&Ps, we've gone and pulled back a decent amount for what we've seen over the course of the last few weeks, or last couple of weeks. 41.74, and Nasdaq just about at this area right here. We were looking, or I've been looking for, is a move eventually down here, 13.715. You can see that there. And yesterday we had a little bit of a gravestone doji. It does open the door for us to work a little bit lower. And we're still residing here at this 261% extension. Markets just hasn't really moved too far beyond that. We did get up to, what was it, 42.11 or something. But in the bigger scheme of things, we're still stalling around this area. And you can see here, it looks like we haven't gone that down there yet, but a decent opportunity for them to get down to that pivot of 41.67. Gold has really done really well. Actually, it looks like we finally made it up to 1798, back to those highs. Thought we might have been able to push even a little bit and taken out some stops above 1800, but we paired back a little bit since then. And take a look at Bitcoin. We got that move yesterday, remember, just a hair above bias chart resistance. We've since gone and paired back, kind of middle of the road right here with Bitcoin. And looking at the euro, after that run yesterday, remember we saw that run coincided with the VWAP off of the highs that the euro had established. That's where they found resistance yesterday. And we were looking for a move to 2085. And we did go in and pair back. We did try to come back a little bit, and since then it's just been downhill. Nice little slide, and then take a look over here with cable. And nice bounce back yesterday for cable also, which came in right into the 61%. before it actually has pared back also. So I guess a little bit of strength here in the dollar across the board. And with that, we're going to move into the analysis. I don't even know if yesterday we kind of locked up in here. See if those are the same levels. You know what? That is not. Obviously, that's not even the same bias chart. Let me see if I can pull it up. It locked up yesterday. I don't know if y'all remember that. I was able to just save it, but let me try and pull this up again. Okay, great. That would have been tough to go and have to redo that all over. And I think those are the same levels. Yeah, they were. Okay, looks like we're okay there. So let's just go on and get started. So the euro rallied off of Friday's lows, so that's Friday's lows, to challenge the pivot level of 2073. There's that 2073. And the futures are going up to 2085, closing just below that. Resistance for Tuesday will be 2090 in case we did push higher. We're supported 2034. We've actually made a pretty good dip, and we're actually below that at this moment. Bear with me. They are below that right now. Potentially, this is where we can go to, which is 1994. Now, whether we get there or not, but we've revisited those lows. Got a bearish engulfing for right now. Let's just go and keep this. I don't think we're going to turn around and return back, so we'll keep that level at 2073, which was we stopped that instead of that would be the risk back to this pivot of 2073. Potentially, as I said, this is where the real support is going to come in if we dip further. Not 1993. We'll stay with what we had. Let's go and move into cable. And we are well enough below this, and we're tagging this support level here. Let's look at this as potentially where this market will go to. Let's need to be realistic, and that would be, as I said, 1992. Let's go with that as opposed to head to 2034. We talked about yesterday. Wasn't surprised that we would get a bounce because we had come off so hard on Friday, and on heavy volume we'd get the bounce back. It stopped right there at that key pivot, and then obviously continue to sell off from there. Let's go on and move into cable. So cable posted a solid rally to begin the week. Resistance for Tuesday will be 39.41 with support at 38.61. Same thing here. We're seeing some strength here in the dollar. We've even brushed beyond that. You can make the case with 38.61. Still a little bit of an overshoot. We'll stick with that, but 38.61 here. And 39.41 on the other side. And on to the Aussie dollar. This has been all over the place. Look at this. Up, down, down, up, down. I mean, it's been something else. So the Aussie rallied back on Monday, closing above the old resistance level of 77.58 as the market can't decide what it wants to do. Resistance on Tuesday will be 77.97 with support at 77.03. So this thing's been all over the place. So 77.03. And if we did stretch up, it certainly doesn't look like it. 77.90. On to the dollar yen. So the dollar yen on Monday was surging past the pivot level of 9.57, summarily came undone, closing just above 109. Resistance on Tuesday will be 9.31, which we're right just above it. And we actually pushed a little bit higher, but we're pulling back a bit. 9.31 with support at 8.71. This thing's been a little bit tricky over the last few days. So 8.71 on the downside, 9.31 on the upside, although we have overshot that this morning. But still, the bigger resistance is going to be this pivot right here at the 9.57. Onto the cash dollar index. The dollar index slid back on Monday, closing just below 91, even as the index easily gave up gains. Now we're kind of turning things around now. Resistance on Tuesday will be 91.28 with support at 90.79. Same thing, it just held those lows and started working hard from there. And let's go and move over to Bitcoin now. Here we're looking on the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, which generally I don't use 4 hours, but usually I will use it for like the bonds, longer dated, not longer dated, but instruments such as that, where you'll see movement stay in an area for a long, extended period of time. But anyway, nonetheless, showing it here, but you can see this move a little more clearly in the daily. So Bitcoin rallied early on to begin the week, but found offers at the bias chart resistance before sliding below or sliding sub 57K. Remember, we had our resistance at 58,792. We were actually hitting it yesterday, right when we were on the webinar, and the actual high was 58,794, and we had 58,792. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. Off by $2. Holy smokes. So Bitcoin rallied early on to begin the week, but found offers at the bias chart resistance before sliding under sub 57K. Resistance for Tuesday will be 57,880 with support at 55,630. So support, we're looking for 55,630. Actually dipped below that. Look at that. We've been as low as 54,656. And the upside, we're looking for 55,630. That's the closest I've got. $2 within that high. That was pretty good. We actually had that number when we came in because of this level, and that's exactly where it stopped. And you can see right here with this close right there, we'd be looking for support. That came in at 55,082, so probably could have put it up a little bit higher. I may lower down to here, but anyway, that is what you would expect for some support. Bids are going to come in. Let's go on and move into the SPOs. So the S&P brushed up against 4,200 on Monday, but could not hold the move. The index posted a gravestone doji. You can see that right here on the daily chart. Posted a gravestone doji. Support on Tuesday will be 41.56, followed by 41.44. Resistance will be 41.94. So potential, we're looking for this thing to break. I went to put 41.67. So if we do break, we're looking for 41.56, followed by 41.44. And on the upside, 41.94. You can see the significance right there, that 41.94. And you can see that move that we saw yesterday above 42. We couldn't hold it, paired back. The tendency has been for them to rally them on the close. They try to hold them, but since then, you can see here we've continued to slide back, a little bit of a rally, pair back, kind of working ourselves back up again. Same thing here with the Nasdaq here. Speaking of the Nasdaq, let's jump there. And here we are looking with the Nasdaq. It's on the daily. We're on the 2-hour chart. You can see here, we're looking for this move on the daily to 13,715. The Nasdaq closed sub 13,800 with the lowest daily close in 7 sessions. That was yesterday. Here, lowest daily close in 7 sessions. Support on Tuesday will be 13,702 with resistance at 13,875. And as I said, you can see it right here on the daily. And we talked yesterday about this being this pivot 13,954. They made a run toward that. They came up short just like about 4 ticks. And then since there, they rolled downhill. You can see that move yesterday comes up right to that pivot 13,954. And if you remember, that was our resistance yesterday. Comes up just a little bit short and then just rolls downhill. And then finally we get a break below 13,800. We are holding against this 13,715. Support today is going to be 13,702. And you can see we've been down here before when they held that. With that, we'll go and move into the gold market. And there we are with gold. Looks like it ended up putting the crude one for the gold, but we were, like I said, we had a pretty good move here in gold and has done really well. And I thought we were looking for today for this market to potentially get to 1803, and support was going to be at 1784. Looks like that 1784 is holding, but we did go on a pair back. You can see here we got a little bit of a gravestone doji. The wick might be a little bit long, not long enough for a shooting star, but good gravestone doji, and we did go on and pair back. So we were looking for 1784 on the downside. And on the upside, 1803. But it has held up very, very well after that pullback down to the 1750s. With that, we're going to move into the crude oil market. I'm not sure why I didn't update here either, but we saw a pretty good little move here in crude oil. After Friday, we posted that bearish engulfing move on Friday, only to go on and finish kind of steady here on Monday, not sending anything too high, but we've certainly added on to those gains now. So take a look here. What we'd be looking at, resistance is going to be right there, that closing bar, which is right where we're at, 65.10. So that's going to be our resistance for today. Let's go on and pop this up. 65.10. And support on this move. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing my notes on here, so I'm just going by what we have here. We'll go right here. You see the opening bar here. We'll go right across here. My support going to be at 64.42. Smart move on crude though. You can see here with the euro, got a bit of a small little hammer on the 30-minute. We are a little bit overdone here. Crypto stops below. After we saw that rally, like I said, you can see this rally not only came into and I believe those are Wednesday's opening range here, but also came into, you see the VWAP off of the highs. That's exactly where the market ran into resistance. And also what would have been, I believe it was Wednesday's opening range high. And then we saw the market pair back, kind of hold its own, and then it's just been downhill since then until we tripped the stops. And we're going to look at platinum and palladium. We were able to go in and get back above this level here on platinum. But we need to get a close above 1248 for right now. We bumped up actually against it yesterday. See right there? Got to get above it. Here's that range we were in, but need to get above this closing high from here. And that comes in at 1248. And it looks like we tagged that yesterday here. And we still need to get above that for us to push further higher above this. That's on platinum, on palladium. Oh, doing pretty good so far. You can see here we've got past that 161% extension. The key thing is to get back above 3010. And we looked pretty smart yesterday. Look at this. After this, we closed above that. The key thing is if we can extend this move, but we got to get a daily close above 3010. But it's looking pretty good so far. And with that, going back to the bias chart, there's the bias chart. And with that, we'll call it a day, and we'll post a bias chart in the room. And thanks for joining us here on the European Crossover webinar.